Did you see the missile falling on the guy?
Yes.
No.
How crazy is that, though?
It's sad,
That's
but
wild.
fucking
Ooh.
good.
Dude, I can't
Ow.
believe that's real. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Holy shit!
Oh wait,
I
you know what
didn't
just
see
happened
that.
too? A bomb that we dropped into Japan back in the day just exploded at their airport.
Now,
Yeah.
Now,
from
today.
70 years ago.
nah,
From-
that seems normal.
Yep.
That seems like
That's what I said.
American-made
Like,
technology.
that's not just planned.
And we're already back in the Manimal Zone, guys. We're watching missiles drop out of the sky on people's heads. If you didn't see that video, we're not going to show
It really
it.
happened. A missile fell out of the sky.
I like how
It just smashed the guy. It didn't
Literally.
blow up. It just landed
No.
on
It
him
just
and made him
landed
into
on him.
It's
pancakes.
like, here's a way of getting your enemy.
That's effective. That
who
worked
made
well.
that missile. I mean, it's effective. It
We're not
kills
going to
him.
bomb them. We're just going to drop it on one human being.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
God.
you know the original way that airplanes used to drop bombs in like World War One.
Was
Didn't
that
guys
it?
just push him out?
They just had it in their hand. He would
like,
just
throw
throw
it
the.
aside.
He would just throw the
So
grenade.
That works.
That always reminds me, you got the Diddy stuff going around now, right? So you guys remember Revenge of the Nerds back in the day, right?
Yes.
Like, one of the greatest movies ever, right? So you got the black guy in the really short shorts. He's gay, and he's walking out with the little like whatever he's
Bordering
going
the
to
first
throw.
training,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he's like, and the music's playing slowly, and it's bouncing up and down, and he just launches this thing like as far as anybody's ever seen it. I don't know. It's just the funniest thing.
I did like Revenge of the Nerds. I liked when Ogre
movie.
switched to a nerd.
Yes.
Ogre. But Revenge of the Nerds was great. I liked Porky's too.
Porky's was great. Like, that was
Porky's-
one of those things I had to watch in my house when like nobody was around because God forbid like somebody came in when I'm watching Porky's. Like,
Your
what are you
parents
doing?
could never catch you watching Porky's.
I never saw it.
You never see Porky's.
Porky's
The
is
girl
great.
puts these like when I look at it now, I'm like, this is pretty dirty.
Yeah.
They're putting like high school kids in a dick lineup
Yes.
to see who put their dick
put
through the
their dick
glory
through
hole.
the
Oh, yeah, that's
So they
pretty
drill a
dirty.
hole in the girl's bathroom so that they can watch them, and then one kid
And
puts his
then
dick in
everybody-
it.
That's
And
it. That's it.
That's it.
It's the birthmark on his dick.
And then this girl is like, I see the dick. I want to put him in a lineup so I can identify the dick.
That's great.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I don't think you could do that anymore.
No.
Although you know what I've seen in a lot of comedy movies now, which is a disturbing trend, cutting people's dicks off. I'm like, guys, you got to stop. I was watching like 2 different movies where like the whole premise was the dude got his dick cut off, and it was
That's not
very
funny.
disturbing. It's not funny.
Well, you
There's
know.
nothing funny about
No,
that.
it's not funny, but they're just prepping you.
They're
Genital
probably-
mutilation,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I watched
It's
it.
normal. Uh-oh.
What happened here?
We're out. Power.
Yo, the feds heard us. They heard
Yeah,
genital
like, oh,
mutilation,
shut
like
these
that's
fuckers
it.
down.
They're like, we love genital mutilation.
That was crazy.
Weird. Okay. They were like, we in fact love genital mutilation. That was a little wild. I thought the feds cut off.
I
you off.
literally thought, I
Yeah,
was
they
like, that's
definitely-
it.
They were
You were
listening.
like,
The
P.
feds
Diddy.
were like, no talking about
You
genital
know the best. Did I
mutilation.
send you the picture when Eric Adams gives P. Diddy the key to the city?
Oh, yeah.
And they're doing this?
Yeah.
Diddy
What
did
is
it.
that?
And he's got the key, and he's like, yeah,
Making a
loser.
little heart symbol. I was like,
Team losers.
I
Yeah.
was like, tell me you guys are in cahoots without
So
killing me.
what did he get Adams on? I saw it was something.
Well, here's the problem.
He
So,
was involved with Diddy, definitely. I think that
Well, I
everything
think
else
that's
is
true
just.
too, but I think
yeah.
it was something to do with money. I'm
Yeah.
not sure
okay,
what it
so here, I'm going to run you through it.
Sure.
So for the last, I don't know, let's call it 10 years, because remember, he was the Brooklyn Borough president
Right.
first, and then became the mayor of New York. So the first accusation is that he took bribes from the Turkish government in order to expedite the building of the Turkish embassy,
Okay.
which involved a couple $1 million in bribes.
Sure.
The other thing he could be involved in is his administration messing with the money from the immigrant situation. So they say they spent all these billions of dollars,
Right.
and those billions of dollars are not spent by the city. Remember, the government doesn't actually do anything. They pay other people to do
Sure.
it. So when you want a migrant shelter, the government doesn't go and send the National Guard and build a migrant shelter.
No.
What they do is they pay a private company.
Yeah, they contracted out.
Okay, and
somebody
then
makes
who
big
got
money
those
off it.
contracts?
His buddies, I'm sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then there's also some accusations of nepotism within the administration, especially with the chancellor of the school. So I don't know if you see,
No, I didn't
all
see that
the
one.
chancellor stuff's been confiscated as well.
Did he step down or?
I think he stepped down,
He did,
but
huh?
his brother is like also involved.
Okay.
And what was happening is they were like, okay, let's say Siege, you run a strength and conditioning program, right, for kids.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right, listen, I'm going to give you $1 million,
Right.
and you're going to run that strength and conditioning program for the city,
Uh-huh.
and then you're going to give my brother a job for
Sure.
$200,000 a year.
Sure.
and he's never going to show up. Okay? And then Adams also paid his girlfriend. I thought he was gay, but whatever, maybe he's bi.
Definitely
So
gay.
then he paid his girlfriend like a $200,000 a year job that she never went to.
Sure.
Right, so they did a lot of this. So it's not just one thing. It's a
just
lot of
pretty
corruption.
common practice in politics.
Well, you
and
know
all
what's
that.
funny? It's a common practice in politics, but when you get a job for the government, they tell you can't do that.
Sure. of
So,
course.
like, let's say you work as a police officer,
Yeah.
and my wife is a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just make her do it. There's a lot of red tape she has to get through because
Right.
that would be considered nepotism.
Yeah.
But among the high levels, they have no rules.
Yeah, there's
and that's the
no-
main problem. I live in a city that's governed by the most corrupt mayor we've ever had, who's then dictating to you how not to be corrupt.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Don't break the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you break it like I did, but make sure you break it better.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
You know, that's just common. I mean, they don't like him though. There's something else there because
I
they
think it was
wouldn't
the
just
immigrant
crack
shit.
on.
That was when they went
Yeah.
after him when he
Because
started
he
speaking
was
out
like,
about
the
the
federal
immigrants.
government's not doing their job.
Right, so he spoke out against them, and
that was
then you
enough.
did that, and they're like, no, that's
Because
not
they
happening.
originally put him in because they knew that he would push the COVID
Right,
stuff because de Blasio did too, but that's the reason they got Cuomo out. Cuomo
Yep.
was going to let them continue to test or vax.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, no, we need to put this through
Yep.
as a vax only.
So they made a bunch of false allegations against. I mean, I'm sure Cuomo's a creep, but like,
I'm sure he's a creep, but no one said he got
yeah,
raped.
exactly.
You touched a girl inappropriately, dude. You know what? If anyone ever said that to me, I would just turn around and be like, "You grabbed my ass. Like, what the fuck? Like, you touched me too."
Yeah,
Like half the
exactly.
time, it's like that person probably was like touched.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You accidentally touched my ass. You know, I don't know.
I mean,
It's like
listen, anybody
he
can
put
say
his
anything.
hand on my back.
Well,
Right? One of the girls was like, he put his hand on
Oh
my
yeah,
back.
yeah, no, that's actually what she said. Yeah.
And I was
she felt like
uncomfortable. It's like,
intimidated.
stop.
He was too close to her. Like,
That's the most
Okay,
shit
I
I've
mean,
ever heard in my life.
but that's not criminal.
No.
If you say stop and then he continues, that's criminal.
a different
Yes.
story. Yeah, different.
Right, but if I just like, hey, Siege, what's up?
Story. And you're making me uncomfortable.
Okay, no problem. No
You're
problem. I won't touch
touching
you again.
me.
No, I know.
You
Yeah.
touched my back.
Well, this
Hey,
is the
no
whole
problem, I
with
won't touch you
society
again.
now. But this is, this generation that's coming up now. It's like, I need my safe space. You made me uncomfortable. You got to go to jail. It's like there's not even any room for,
What about my safe space?
Your safe
Just
space.
because I'm not bitching like that doesn't mean that I don't feel uncomfortable.
Of course.
I mean, I couldn't go get a
No,
fucking
but it's
hamburger in my
victim
neighborhood. I felt
mentality,
very
right? The victim
uncomfortable.
is always right here. The victim is always right. So if you come up
And the
first you're
whinier
the
victim.
right?
Because even if I'm a victim who's stating that in a positive, not a positive way, but a professional way. Listen, I'm victimized. I feel this was wrong.
Yeah, but you're
They
gonna
don't
lose
take it
right
the
away
same
right
as when
now.
I'm like, you're killing babies. Oh, actually, no. Make sure you kill babies.
Make sure you kill babies.
Sorry, I got that one wrong. I
Women's
can't keep it
rights,
straight, guys.
Bodily autonomy only when
can't-
it fits our narrative.
Yeah,
I
bodily
can't-
autonomy. Unless you have to take the vaccine,
Yes.
then you have.
Then
to
you
take the
have
vaccine.
you have no choice.
And the
It's
other
not your
side of
body,
it too.
it's everybody's body.
One's
That's it.
like, and then
Abortion's for
Republicans
everyone.
are like, you don't have to take the vaccine, but you also can't get an abortion. Which the abortion issue I know is sketchy. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think they
yeah.
did a good job of the debate last night, actually, of steering the conversation a little better. Because like Vance is like, well, I'd rather go on family planning
Oh, that's
first,
so
and then
smart.
abortion
Yeah,
should be
he was
Right.
smart
a
about
state
it.
issue.
Yeah, he was well prepared.
Which
for
is
that.
how a republic works.
Yep.
A republic works by small government in different places. Although I do think there needs to be a general rule on where you identify a baby as being alive, because
Agreed.
the laws don't make sense. I'm gonna tell you why. If I get into a car accident
I know.
and there's a pregnant mom and she's 3 months pregnant,
2 counts.
Yep.
now I killed the baby.
Yep.
Okay, fine, but then that means that I can't have an abortion then.
Yep.
Right.
So you have to set a
Absolutely.
limit for me.
Oh
If
no,
I-
because then you choose to kill your own baby. Okay, just
No,
making
you're
sure
allowed to
that
choose,
just
but if
making
somebody
sure
else
that that's
does,
where
yeah.
this line is drawn.
No, but I want a clear definition here. Like
That's,
me
I think,
personally,
I
if you
guarantee
say
you somebody will say that. Well, I didn't choose for you to kill me and my baby, or just to kill my baby.
Doesn't
But
matter.
Walking in to get an abortion is an
you're
absolute
still claiming
choice.
it as a life.
Yeah, no, I know. I think it's crazy.
So then you have to set a time.
Yeah.
So if you say within the first 3 months, it's not a baby.
Right,
Okay,
so-
fine. You set that.
Yep.
You set that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, then if you get into a car accident,
Then you
if I
can't.
kill you and you're 3 months pregnant, that's one
it,
murder.
yeah.
It don't
Yeah.
count. So
Yeah.
everything has to become standardized to make sense for
I
the
agree
rule.
with that.
Yeah.
And I would be okay with a common sense thing like that, because you can't have it say, it's a baby
But
at
it's
1
not,
month
yeah.
if I get into a car accident, but it's not if I
Right.
want to have an abortion. So I would like to see a standardization
I
of
like
that.
that.
I agree.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a moderate.
That's not a lot to ask for.
People think I'm crazy, but I'm actually pretty moderate. I'm
Well,
like,
so
not a lot
that's,
to ask
yeah, that's
for.
the whole thing. Like, I think, in all honesty, we're all pretty much moderates.
Most people
We're
are.
Most
just,
people.
Yeah.
But today's moderate is really right-wing conservative. That's
Yes.
what they think.
That's what they would
whereas
call you, yeah.
10 years ago, we're just guys in the middle. Like,
just I'm
I-
just
Yeah.
a moderate. I want to have freedom for your body and a gun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
not that crazy.
It doesn't mean that just because I agree on some liberal policies.
I want to be able to
that
kill an animal, but I want you to be able to kill your kid if you want to.
You can't
Okay.
kill an animal, right?
Right, so you can't kill a bald eagle egg, right? So you can't
Yeah.
if you find a bald eagle egg and you kill it, then you get charged with murder of a bald eagle.
What if it was unfertilized?
Good question. I don't know.
Yes.
That's
Like the
it.
bald eagle
it
is
wasn't
like,
really a baby
yeah,
then.
yeah, but
Because it's like a
law.
chicken, right?
Yeah, it's a
but
law.
it's a law. You can't kill a bald eagle
you
or
can't
the,
kill a
or the
bald
baby.
eagle
Yeah.
egg. Yeah.
So then those laws have to make sense to me.
Murderer.
You have to standardize it so
Yeah.
that a death is a death is a death. A life is a life is
Yeah,
a life.
I agree with
it
that.
can't be like, no, it's alive here, it's
But
dead
it's not
here, it's
there.
live
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
dead.
Because then it's
No.
just politics.
Then it just becomes politics. Then it just becomes talking points, politics.
Well, which is
you
really
don't
what it
believe in
is.
bodily choice.
None of these people are making it because they actually give a fuck. It's because it's a political talking point.
Although you know what the ancient Romans did, right?
No.
You could kill your baby up until they were an adult. So like they didn't do this often.
Oh, so they were
Siege.
Democrats.
So Siege, they didn't
Yeah.
do this practice often, but they had a practice. First, you didn't even name the kid for like 2 weeks. You just
Really?
looked at him and you were like, "Hey, kid," because infant mortality was so high. So you just named the kid after 2 weeks, and then the father of the family had the right of life and death over his kids. So you could, if you wanted, kill your kid.
Well, I'm
Until
gonna
they were an
assume,
adult.
and I'm not.
It didn't
I'm
happen
not-
often,
Yeah,
though.
I'm not saying this is right, but my guess is if there was a deformity.
That's what
or
I was
That's what they
thinking.
probably
birth
did.
That's what I
defect,
was
so,
thinking,
you
yeah.
take the kid, you throw him in the woods, and let the wolves eat him. And
I don't think you just got pissed and killed
No,
him.
I don't think so. I mean, but
That's it. You didn't play with your Legos correctly, son.
I told you, if you don't fucking put your Legos back,
right.
Take your Lincoln Logs
Alright,
and put them
fuck it.
away.
put your fucking Legos back.
I mean, but then you go to like the Islamic run countries, and if your daughter gets raped, you chop her head off.
Yes.
If she gets raped.
Yeah, if she gets raped.
That's
the
why they
father
don't
kills
like
her.
to let them out alone.
And the
No,
perpetrator.
Because
lives.
it's-
It's an honor killing at that point. So, and they'll do it in the middle of the street.
But no,
crazy.
that's why you don't. They're very concerned about like having the women alone
Sure,
with men and stuff.
sure.
You
Yeah,
know
well-
why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because those fucking outfits are sexy. I don't care what you say. When I see a girl
You're
in a
wondering
bikini, I
what's
know
on-
what I'm getting.
Yeah.
And when I see that hijabi,
It's like big
I'm like,
surprise.
ooh,
What's
does she have
under
a fat ass?
What's
I
under
was-
that? What's under
I was
that
like,
burqa?
you got sexy eyes. Look at that. I was like, then you're trying to look at the curves. I was like, no, this girl's stacked. Look under her.
You
Look
don't
under
know.
her
You
hijab.
don't know.
And then what is she wearing? Does she have underwear on at all? Is it free ball in there?
Something I don't even know
So
about.
is
Is it something? Is it something red? Is it black? Is it something I've never even seen before? Do they have different panties in the Middle East? I don't know.
Do they not wear them?
When they have their period, do they do it the old school way with the girdle and the cloth?
That's
I
a
don't
good
know. I'm
question.
wondering all kinds of things. I'm a curious person. But let me just make sure this is recorded.
Please, if you could write us in and let us know.
Let us know.
Let us
I'd
know.
like to know what's under your hijab.
Inquiring mind.
Inquiring animals.
We want to know.
How archaic is your
But
feminine
that's all
products?
like. So if you go to like United Arab Emirates or any place like that, like all those laws are skirted by anyway. Like the prince pulls up to the back of the club in his, in his.
And they
galley
drink.
wear.
In his
he goes
elephant with his freaking tiger.
Well, it's now it's a man.
His pet pitbull tigre.
Yeah, but he goes in there and
he's
then he
riding
has
his
his
elephant.
fun at the club, and then he goes back out the back door in
With
his
his
Lamborghini
camel.
home. And,
In public, you're Muslim.
Yeah, in
You know
public.
that's what they do.
private.
In private, he is what he is.
He's got the most badass elephant in the country,
He
and then
probably
he's got
does.
the camel too.
Yeah.
and then
Two
he's got
humps on his
He's got
camel.
his tiger and his lion coming out with him, like, yo, y'all can't fuck with me.
Yeah, his camel's rolling on 25-inch rims. There's rolling.
Rolls up on his elephant.
So I had a professor when I went for my master's in history, and Professor Shar was like big into Morocco, and he loved the Moroccan culture. He wound up going there doing research, and he wound up being big with the Moroccan royal family. And he was like 80 years old, and he was like, I'm retiring. I was like, oh, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm moving to Morocco. I was like, oh, what are you going to do there? He's like, in the day, I wear the hijab. I look like Muslim. He's like, at night, sex parties. Orgies. He's like, look at the American consulate. All those guys. He's like, the first thing I did, went to the American consulate. All those dudes were like, yo, let's come out and party.
Yeah.
And he's like, at night, like Marrakesh by night is fucking lit. And it's on the surface a Muslim country. And by day, you can't have alcohol. None of that. But then there's a black market. And their black market's huge for all that. So these countries that look like very conservative Muslim have massive black markets. Massive of drugs, alcohol.
So if you ever see like, if you go on Instagram, you'll see all these girls, like really like pretty girls, and they're in Dubai or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, look at me, look how rich I am now. That girl's a sex slave. Like she was brought by the princes. The princess paid for everything, and in return, she shows up at the club and. If
there's a Prince of Dubai that would like to run another grappling show, let me know.
Yes.
I'm not going to suck a dick, but we could definitely find someone who will.
Oh, yeah.
It will not be me.
It will not be me.
No, none of us here. But
none of us here, but,
We're not talking about sex slavery and human trafficking.
We're just going to find a willing
Let's
participant.
just start this right here.
that took a bad turn.
Super against that shit.
I might have to edit that out. That was rough. No, I'm not offering sex slavery to any Muslim princes, but I will throw a dope jiu-jitsu competition.
Yes.
Maybe an MMA fight.
Yes.
That could be good.
And it'll look good. I'll have hot girls though. Maybe riding tigers. We could do that.
They'll have them we'll have them riding
like
elephants.
Armored fucking tigers. Oh, elephants. Yeah.
And if we do it around a body of water, they could ride it on
dolphins. Yes.
Right.
I'm gonna have mermaids riding dolphins.
That's it. We'll have them.
So if anyone wants to see mermaids riding dolphins, please give me a couple mil.
And for our extremists, they could be riding it on crocodiles.
That's what I was thinking with Craig Jones's combat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
He got $3 million for that. And I was like,
$3 million, and he had nobody riding tigers or elephants.
Nope.
We need
No
tigers
no
around.
chariots.
No moats, nothing
Chariots on
cool.
fire.
No
You know,
moats.
like
I mean,
Aladdin
look what I
coming
do
in.
for 15 grand.
Yeah.
No
You know,
harems.
no harems, no hot bitches.
What are we here to watch?
What are we here to watch? A bunch
What are
of
we watching, people?
sweaty fucking dudes grappling?
Even I don't want to watch just that.
I don't want to watch sweaty dudes grappling, and I'm a grappler.
And I'm not into chicks, but I want to see some other hot shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep
I
it
mean,
interesting.
Just entertain me. That's
I
it.
think there's some.
Entertain me.
Keep me entertained.
Are you not entertained? Like that's it.
And for the girl matches, hot guy ring card boys.
Too.
Yeah, but they can't be
Hold on,
flaming.
can I do a quick moment of silence?
Yes.
For my favorite ring card boy who passed away, Elias Theodoro.
Yep.
Sad one. I don't know if you remember.
No,
He
I
fought in
don't.
the UFC. He's Canadian. He looked like a Disney prince. Long hair, very flamboyant style.
No.
But
He was the
died.
Invicta ring card boy.
He was the Invicta ring card boy. So
Really?
Invicta is an all-girls show.
Right.
So they're like, we have a ring card boy. He's a real good-looking guy.
Yeah.
But he passed away not from COVID, but
during
during
the
that
time.
period.
Oh really?
I don't want to say what I think happened.
Yeah.
But you know what I think.
Yeah,
But
we know
he
what
had a neuropathy condition also
So,
beforehand,
yeah.
which could have become,
Yeah.
problematic during that time.
Conditions,
Yeah,
and then you
existing
do
condition.
something
Yeah.
you shouldn't be doing.
When you're in Canada, yeah.
You're in
They
Canada.
were kind of making
Yeah.
everybody do
And what a
things
good
that
guy
they
too,
shouldn't have
and what a good pothead. We used to smoke
He
all
was
the
a nice
time
dude,
together. Yeah, what a nice guy. I miss that dude. So it's too bad, you never know when the last time you're going to be with someone is.
No.
So like,
That's true.
you're like, oh, when COVID calms down, come to Law and Train,
Yeah,
and
no.
we'll chill, smoke. He came on the podcast. Cool dude, and just reminded me because I was
that
like,
sucks.
so that was a sucky one. There's a lot of tough ones, man. And COVID, I mean, forget it. So many people died there, like you said the other day. You were like died over COVID from like suicide and things
yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
yeah, a lot of
Not
people.
even just because of mental health.
No, yeah.
And mental health, I was thinking about this too. That mental health shit is stupid. I went to school for psychology. It's not mental health. It's overall health. Like, I feel way worse when my body don't feel as good. Like, Carrie, you know me a long time now. And you see the difference even in my attitude. When,
Yes.
when I'm taking care of my body good
Yeah.
and doing the right things, my brain feels better.
So they are finding a ton of correlations between your mental health and the foods that you eat.
We're eating
Oh,
poison.
that's 100% true.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're eating
And-
poison.
there's so many things like the Deplin that we were talking about, the people that I
superfood.
take, and then there's another one that I might start taking instead of Deplin that's got like so much more other vitamins in it, but it's got the folate and stuff. So it's, there's a lot of vitamins that people could take that are specifically meant for your mental health. Even
well,
drinking like
all-
chlorine dioxide, if you know somebody that has Alzheimer's, they say that it helps cure it and turn it around. And I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
I
at that
take
point-
chlorine dioxide.
and
My
it's
cats are taking chlorine dioxide. It's not bad for you.
If nothing happens, that's the
Worst.
worst case. Nothing
Yeah,
happens.
exactly.
Best case, it fixes you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
everybody's
what also
deficient,
grinds my
though.
gears.
Yeah.
My Why You Mad Wednesday.
What's today? Why are you mad Wednesdays? The
The
FDA.
The
Can we
food.
drop the FDA? Can we
The
get rid
FDA
of them? Can we put
sucks.
them all in jail?
Yeah, the
They s-
pyramid's upside down, guys.
Yeah.
Pyramids upside down.
It's
Yeah.
upside down.
We got food in our country and chemicals in our food that is banned in other
Yeah,
countries.
and how come the health secretary is not someone who's fit?
Not
you
healthy
should
at
be the
all.
health secretary,
Not mentally
right?
or physically healthy.
The food secretary. Is it a guy? Is it a girl? Is it? What is
doesn't know
It's
what it is.
No, it doesn't. So it's got clearly
Wait.
has mental problems.
We're
okay.
unsure.
And then whatever it is 75, 100 pounds overweight.
Yes.
Generously 100
Yes.
pounds overweight.
Sweating
Nice.
profusely all the time. Like, you just don't look good. You're not
It's-
the picture of health.
No.
Yeah,
You're as
I want
healthy as my school
you
nurse
know who was
was,
the best-
smoking
remember
cigarettes in the
when-
back of the school.
Remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger was the Secretary
Sure.
of Health and they did the
Yeah.
presidential fitness
Yeah,
test?
yeah, he did all that.
Like,
Yep.
how come you don't bring in a fitness expert?
It's a good
No,
question.
they need to do something like
You know what I
it's
mean?
So
Like, you
bad.
bring in a health and fitness expert
They did a thing.
Bring
to
him
be
in.
the health. I'd love to see RFK be the health
RFK would
secretary.
He's gonna.
Fantastic.
They did something with Congress the other day, and they were
Yes.
showing the ingredients in
Yeah.
Canadian Fruit Loops and our
Oh,
Fruit
I
Loops,
saw
and all
that,
their
yeah.
stuff is from concentrate, fruit concentrates, and then we have red dyes,
Red
yellow
dye,
dyes,
yeah.
food dyes, blue dyes, all these fucking crazy ingredients that they just don't have. Their even their Heinz ketchup.
Yeah,
It's
completely
tomatoes,
different.
salt, and
Sugar.
or
Cane
maple
sugar.
syrup.
Yeah.
Well, maple syrup in Canada, that's right.
Yeah,
Is it
so
maple syrup?
there's something to be said, something huge
That
to be
makes sense.
said
Canada
for what
puts
you
maple
put in your
syrup. I like
body.
it.
That makes sense.
I do like
know?
it, actually.
Yeah, you got to be careful with what you put in your body. You have
And you
to.
know what the other problem
so
is?
important.
Something that I ate 6 months ago will change
Oh yeah.
the ingredients. So, like, I used
so
to like this
stupid.
raisin bread from Pepperidge Farm.
Oh, that was the best back in the day.
And I went to
it's
pick
not
it up the
raisins
other
or bread
day.
anymore.
No, and I went to pick it up the other day, and it's all soybean oil.
Organic soybean oil. It's still shit.
Yeah.
Organic
Like,
or no, it's not good for
I'm
you.
like, soybean oil is not great. And they try to be like, no, but it's a soybean.
Nope.
I'm like, no, that's
Nope.
a monocrop
That's edamame.
that's heavily subsidized
Yep.
for a reason because they make all kinds of stupid shit
Yeah.
out of it. And it's not good for you. Corn oil, corn syrup,
Not good
corn
for you.
oil.
Vegetable oil, cottonseed oil,
and
all
it's
that shit is
all
so bad for
And
you.
the worst,
And then they made you
guys,
get rid of animal fats and,
Keep your eyes out for this.
none
Hold
of
on.
that.
Keep your eyes out for this. When you go to 7-Eleven, you almost can't buy anything there.
Anything.
Because look at the back, and there's a big thing on the bottom if it has this. It will say made with bioengineered
Yep.
food
And
ingredients.
what the fuck is that?
Which, and I looked that up.
It's worse than vegan food.
A bioengineered food ingredient means that they could just make it in the lab. It never has to be grown. It never has to be. It doesn't have
That's
to
how
be
they get you to
alive.
eat the bugs.
It could literally be like a piece of plastic
It is.
with the same DNA code as a piece of bread, but it's
Terrible.
plastic.
Well, isn't that how they
And-
keep the McDonald's buns fresh?
Yeah, I think
they
so.
never
Like
go bad.
styrofoam or
If you
something in
leave
there.
that fucking
Yeah,
bun
it's
out,
absurd.
it will never go bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, which is
And people
crazy.
eat that shit.
Every day.
every day.
And they know how bad it is. That's the thing. People can't say, "Oh, I didn't know." The fuck you did it. There is
No, you
enough
know.
information
I
where
used
you're
to
just
love-
literally putting your head in the sand.
I used to love McDonald's
I
French
haven't
fries.
had McDonald's in years.
Me neither,
Okay, but
I,
when
I
we
used
were
to
kids,
love
French
McDonald's
fries
fries.
were
With
They
the
were
beef
made
tallow.
with 3 ingredients:
beef
beef
tallow.
tallow, potatoes, and salt. That was it.
Yeah, so did
That
you
was it.
see during that thing, they showed the potato for McDonald's, and they have to put it in a warehouse for 3 months as a potato to let all the chemicals come out
Yeah.
and into the air before they can even ship them out
That's
for
disgusting.
processing.
Because it's white.
Yes, it's
That potato
white,
is
white,
Yeah.
and
white.
it's got so many chemicals that they
Wow.
sprayed the fields with to
Wow.
keep that white.
That's not good.
And if you go in that warehouse with the potatoes, you die.
Wow.
You die.
Yeah, you
So,
die.
and people eat that shit.
Yeah, people eat it. They
Yep.
love it.
Oh yeah, people are
And I
crazy.
used to love
It's like-
McDonald's fries. And then once I seen
sure.
that, I saw what you just said, how they make
Yeah.
them, they like chlorinate the potato.
Yes,
That's
because
crazy.
you don't want any brown spots.
No
That's
brown
crazy.
spots at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd just rather kill all of you than have one ugly spot on a
Sure.
potato. Okay.
And these potatoes, they make a massive.
Oh, they're huge.
They're
They're footballs.
huge, huge
Yeah.
and toxic.
So
And
bad.
then they like, oh no, now it's good. And
now
I was
it's
like,
safe.
holy shit.
Now that we
guys.
just cooked it down to a freaking
It's like, don't worry, we cooked it. That killed all the bacteria.
Gross.
I'm like, oh my fucking
We just added some
God.
worse shit in there.
So we're feeding everyone poison, and
Yes.
that's what really is upsetting.
Yeah.
It's like shit. My friends that live in Italy, that train, they're like, yo, I eat pasta every day in
Every
Italy,
day.
and I'm lean. They're like, here, I had one bowl of pasta. I felt
And
like
you
shit.
gain weight. Yeah, it's
No,
more
you gotta
of you
make your
gain
own.
inflammation.
Yeah. So my sister actually started this for us, and she goes out, she buys the Italian flour all
Semolina.
Just talking
You gotta
about
eat
that.
Me
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Carrie were talking about the same.
And I can eat it all day and all
Yep.
night, and I I feel great.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta get the. We
but-
gotta do that. We'll get the
Yep.
semolina
If I
flour. We'll
Yep.
make the
We're
pasta
gonna
by
change it up.
hand.
And it's flour and egg.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
No.
It's like, oh my
How
God.
did they get away with doing all this in the food supply? Right, like there was
Because
no.
people were too stupid to turn around and research what they were eating and look at like all the stuff starting to add up and the things, and it's like you're not, and people were too trusting in their government.
Well, that's
that the
the whole thing.
government's
Okay,
not going
trusting
to
the
kill us,
government.
the government's not going to hurt us, the government's not going to give us anything
Right.
bad. And then, I don't know what, I mean, I'm thinking really, I saw a lot of people waking up to everything in like 2012, 2011. And that something
Really during
something
COVID,
changed.
a lot of people-
That's when really the catalyst.
Yeah,
was.
COVID was.
But
was a
I know
change.
people that were waking up in like 2012 talking about.
I mean, I
food.
realized
My
early
sister's
on
been talking about food
because I was
forever.
fat.
Yeah.
And once I started eating healthy, I was like, oh my God, I was eating fucking Pop-Tart sandwiches,
Yeah, so bad.
which was delicious.
I'm sure it
I would
tastes
take two
good, but-
s'mores Pop-Tarts, and then I would put peanut butter, Nutella, and banana on it. I would eat that like a sandwich.
That's delicious.
Yeah, I was
that's
fat for a reason. That's
Yeah.
why when someone's like, I don't know why I'm fat, I was like,
It's
because
my
you eat like a
genetics.
5-year-old, bro. I
That's
was like,
the
my
problem,
genetics
when you
make
eat
me
like a
fat. You
fine-
could tell I store a little fat.
A little bit.
Yeah, I store a little extra fat. Fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to play into that.
Right.
No.
You know, I'm
can't.
like, yeah, I store a little extra fat. Okay, I know that. I don't store 100 extra pounds of
No, you
fat.
don't.
No.
And
No,
I was
it's all what people
265.
eat.
I was super fat, and eating all shitty. And then once so you're talking about 20-something years ago, then I was like, oh, wait a second.
Right.
All this crazy shit I'm eating.
changed.
And you
Cereal
get
every
addicted
morning.
to it too.
I
That's
had
the
a
other
fat
problem.
uncle. And my fat uncle, me and him, were
Yeah.
like both fat, right? So I was like 12 years old, and I was
Hang
like,
out and eat together. And like,
and for breakfast, we would take a bowl of cereal, like a mixing bowl.
yeah.
And fill it with
up.
cereal
Oh, yeah,
and milk.
yeah.
So you're talking about
But what kind of,
6
it was probably
servings.
like what, like Lucky Charms.
Lucky
or something like
Charms.
that, cinnamon
Yeah.
toast crunch.
Yeah.
The worst of the worst. Just
Yeah.
What do we love? Cinnamon Toast Crunch was good. Cookie
Captain
Crisp.
Crunch. Oh, well, you're eating cookies.
Yeah.
Cookie.
What are we doing here?
You know, I used to
Cookie
have
Crisp?
I used to have a chinchilla though that would take the Cookie Crisp.
Come
and
on.
eat it like a cookie.
Yeah.
It
My favorite
so
was
fucking
Golden
cute.
Grams.
Honey
Oh, Golden Grams are
Golden Grams is
delicious.
the
Golden
best.
Grams.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
I like Teddy Grams.
And Honey Snacks.
Teddy
Honey
Teddy
Snacks
Grams,
are
a
good.
little teddy bear, and you
Like
dip
a
them
little
in the stuff.
frog.
Oh, you know what I tried to eat the other day? I remember Dunkaroos when I was a kid.
Sure.
Yes, totally
Sure.
different.
Yeah, it tasted like fucking cardboard. I was like, this
Yeah.
isn't a Dunkaroo.
No.
Like,
No,
did
my
my
son
taste
gets it
buds?
once in a while.
I don't think it's my
disgusting.
taste buds.
No,
it's the
it's just,
stuff. Yeah.
it's just awful.
No, you might as well
It's
just
just
make your
awful.
own for us.
And it's so
Dunk
upsetting.
a-
I mean-
Dunk a cookie in it.
I try to do my best job. We try to do a good job of cooking well.
Yeah.
But I get my meat from Butcher Box
Mm-hmm.
as much as I can. If I go out to eat, I like it to be a good place. Shout out Thomas's Ham and Eggery.
Yes,
Yes, Thomas's is great.
best place ever.
Thomas's
Ever.
is fucking the best breakfast spot. Thomas's, can you sponsor us? We're in
Please,
there all the
and thank you,
fucking time.
literally.
Twice a week.
2 times a
literally.
week.
2 times a week. They know us in there.
Yeah.
Stay focused, people.
Stay focused.
The one girl
Focus.
has a shirt that's just like focus, people. She comes to the table. She's like, get off your
She's
cell
like,
phone.
I need you to focus.
Focus.
Let's literally, she comes over and like starts telling you what to do.
Starts yelling, she's
I
like,
need
get
you to
off your
focus,
phone.
people.
I need
Get
you
off
to
your
focus. Focus. You're like, eat this food.
That's classic.
I know, you can't tell. You have to tell people to eat.
It's great.
I'm going to go back and get an old flip phone again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just
Some of the old guys that
Maybe
come
that's
in
the
here, they
way.
still have the flip phone.
Yeah.
my dad still has a flip phone.
It's like, but their lives are so much better. They're not on, social media and like.
Yep. They don't care.
Sometimes I think about that. I
Me
wonder
too.
if it would be possible to just like
Even a BlackBerry. or
only
something.
work. The BlackBerry was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that
I
was
love
good.
the texting
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it would be possible to like not use your phone and you only go online if you're at your computer.
No, you can't do it.
Now it's
You won't
tough
make
here,
it.
right?
You won't make it.
Yeah.
So,
Because everyone's
fun
going to be
fact,
texting you, and if
Yeah.
you don't text them
Yeah,
back,
you're
they're
an
going to be
asshole.
like, you're pissed?
Yeah, what's wrong
What'd
with
I
you?
do?
Yeah,
I don't
Your
have
wife,
my,
forget it.
Oh, my wife, if I don't
She's gonna be
answer in
call,
like
she's gonna
30
call the
seconds,
gym, call
Yep.
the house, call the fucking. It's
Call the
gonna be-
police, the
Call
hospitals
the
are
police.
working, you're like,
what
what
happened? I
happened?
was taking a shit.
Yeah.
I left my
Literally,
phone behind
that's
the
the way
desk.
it
I took a
goes,
shit.
yeah.
I fucking.
I don't know. I'm working. I'm in the bathroom. I took a shower. I don't know. There's a
Yeah,
lot of things that
There's
happen.
a lot of things that can happen. That make me not want to be on my phone. I'm like shit.
I took my Facebook app off of my phone.
Yeah, I don't
just
have
don't want to
Facebook
be on it
anymore.
all the time, so I have it on my my laptop or
I don't do
my
Facebook.
iPad if I go on there. But
Facebook's
that's literally it.
Yeah, I'm not a Facebook.
I got to get back on Twitter though. Kerry
So
said that.
Twitter I like right now because you can find anything.
Yeah, there's less censorship now.
Yes,
right?
yeah. So yesterday when Iran
Little
was
to no
launching all
censorship.
the missiles, I mean, I was on Twitter watching it happen.
Me too.
You know,
Oh,
just
so
like,
and
yeah,
Instagram wasn't showing.
No,
No,
Instagram
Twitter
doesn't
has it.
show
It was
anything.
watching
Instagram will
live.
show if like the news site puts it up.
Yeah, no. On
it's
Twitter,
not the
they
same.
actually had like
They show the bombs.
personal
Yeah.
footage.
Yo, what
from
happened to the
people.
Iron Dome?
Well, it didn't
They chose not to
work
have it.
perfectly. You know, it intercepted what it could, and then what it
It
couldn't.
was just too much.
Yeah, it's
So it did
overwhelmed.
because when I
Yeah.
was looking at the video, there was no.
There were some counter strikes.
There was some, but it
wasn't-
was just too much.
So supposedly, and this is, Iran has some type of missile that can evade the Iron Dome, which I'm sure to a certain degree is true.
That some of them they don't
But,
have every missile
you know,
they can, but
the,
some.
the other thing is Iran telegraphed the whole thing. 3 hours beforehand, Israel knew, and they sent everybody down to the bomb shelters.
Well, it's 1,000. So let's think about this logistically.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 miles from the closest point of Iran
Okay,
to the
so
closest
sure.
point of Israel.
How long does that take?
So
to
if a
go in?
missile takes 500,
300 miles an hour.
yeah, let's say you're going 500 miles an hour.
Okay.
It still takes 2
2
hours.
hours, right?
It's 2
So we got
hours
2
that
hours.
missile's traveling.
Yeah.
Yo, that must be wild that you're like chilling in your house eating breakfast in like
yeah.
Lebanon and you see this missile just fucking traveling over because it's not coming for you, it's
No.
targeted. So
Yeah.
it could fly right over your gym
Go right.
and it's just chilling and you're like, there's a fucking missile in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild. I'm surprised no one tries to shoot him down.
I don't like.
I guess it's hard, and it was a lot. It looked
Yeah.
like there was hundreds of missiles.
There were hundreds. From what
Yeah.
I saw, there were definitely hundreds.
But I don't like any of it because they're playing fucking war. They're playing with World War III here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this should never have escalated this much.
No. But
You had a terrorist activity that became a fucking escalated,
well, it was the,
potentially World War III.
It was the smoke that lit the fire. You start
Yeah,
as
it's-
far as fire starts real small, and then it gets real big, real quick, and that's just the way it goes. And let's be honest, the entire world is kind of pushing this to happen more
yeah.
and more.
The
and,
elite are
you know,
definitely pushing it to
absolutely,
happen. Yeah,
they're
and
making a
it's-
ton of money off this. They love it. Like
They
you know,
love
cause
war.
more chaos, war. Yeah,
It's
a
so
war machine.
profitable. Well, here, what got us out of the Great Depression?
War.
World War II.
Yeah, that's why.
So,
Look,
the worst
they knew
year-
the planes were coming to Pearl Harbor. They knew.
Well, they knew. They have to let that happen so you
And
have
it's
the
like,
excuse to
let it go.
I listened to a good podcast by Dan Carlin on like
Mm-hmm.
World War II from the Japanese side, and they're like, guys, you kept they kept like the U.S. keeps encroaching on your territory, and they knew about Pearl Harbor, but no, in 1937, that's the worst year of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
So that's already 2 terms into Franklin Roosevelt, who to me is one of the worst presidents in history. I know we exalt him as this great leader because of World War II, but really, World War II was won by Russia, as far as manpower.
Well, 100%. I mean, who actually
Took the
came
most
into-
losses.
Well, who took the most losses, but who was actually in Europe and actually took out the Nazis? It wasn't us.
No, we
Everybody
only lost
said it was us.
400,000 people.
Yeah, no, the Russians.
The
were
Russians
there.
called that the Great Patriotic War because 20 million Russians died.
Yes. And
So that's 20 million Russians. That's a lot of people that
Yeah.
they
died.
freed the concentration camps. They beat the
Yes.
Nazis. They beat the Nazis on the cold front, and then they actually marched through into Germany. And then the war was over, and then we dropped bombs on Japan. The war was over.
And we blew up Dresden after
Dresden
the
was a
war.
whole nother. So Dresden is like the
Almost
most atrocious thing. that's
All the
ever-
beautiful architecture, one of the best. It's a center
They
of
just
art.
burned everything.
And burned all of it.
Burned
What
it
were they
down.
hiding? Whenever I see that stuff in World War II, I always think the destruction of these cities like Dresden.
Yeah.
What were you trying to destroy there?
That's
what?
a good question. What was in Dresden?
What was in Dresden that you had
literally
destroyed?
set it
It's
on
literally
fire.
the center of art.
Yeah.
Right, and science and That's not the place you bomb Hamburg. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But why would you bomb Dresden? And I think it was like after you already won.
Yeah, it was over
It was
already.
like
The
over.
Nazis
It was
were
like
beat.
the
Yeah,
Nazis were beat. It was like you already beat
It's the
them.
same thing. I'm sure most people, not most people, a lot of people have seen Oppenheimer, and the war is over, and they're like still developing the atomic bomb, and they're like, well, why are we going to do this now? Let's just test it out, kill
Test
a
it
few
out.
million people, and see.
And it's funny too, nuclear war. The people that want you to not have nuclear weapons are the ones that have them.
Of course.
It's
Well,
like
that's the
if you.
advantage.
It's like if you wouldn't let. It's like if me as a jujitsu coach wouldn't teach jujitsu because I was worried
I
you
need
would.
to be the best. That's
I won't. I'm not going to teach you how to do an armbar because I should be the only one that knows how to do an armbar.
So I mean, more or less, that's
would
the
be-
same.
You're not allowed to know.
You can't have a nuclear weapon. Well, what about if I want nuclear power? No,
No, can't have it.
can't have it. You know, and nuclear power is very safe. We only have 2 instances of problems.
Japan.
One in Chernobyl. No,
Chernobyl.
the actual power plant. Chernobyl and
wasn't
3
the
Mile
one in-
Island.
3 Mile Island, Chernobyl. What was the meltdown in Japan?
Oh,
where
yeah,
nuclear-
Fukushima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
it's still, overall, it's safer than mostly everything else. I mean,
and it's better now too, I heard.
Look at the electric cars blowing up on the highway.
Electric cars blow up. The power grid is very subject
Power
to error.
Yeah, you can't depend.
They said it's like not if you blew up 9 transformers in certain spots, you'd shut down the whole power grid, which is crazy. And we're really lucky because our power grid's not meant to handle all the shit we have. That's why the electric cars keep blowing up.
Yeah.
Because it's not that the car blows up, the battery blows up.
The battery, it's the battery.
It's too much charging. In the city, it causes house fires.
Yes.
There's a lot of house fires from guys charging their
electric bikes.
The electric bikes. Because you have like 10 different apartments in this house.
Yeah.
And then everyone charges the electric bike. And you might have 2-3 electric bikes per family.
Sure.
Now you got 15 electric bikes charging from a house that was built in 1929 where you had a light bulb.
Yeah, exactly.
And they may have upgraded the electric system, but it's not going to be sufficient for the massive power need of all this electric. And that's what they never explained about electric cars either. Where are they going to get all this power from?
Well, that's why we're not there yet.
We're not even close.
You have to have a self-sustaining electric car, meaning, it has to either be charged while it's driving by the road itself.
Kinetic energy.
Kinetic energy. You know how the hybrids charge off the brake energy. Okay, do that. Put solar panels somehow. I know the solar panels are too heavy right now, but you have to have a car that's actually self-sustaining, and electric cars are just not.
Dude, kinetic energy, I always wanted to have a gym that charged on kinetic energy. So anything with a flywheel will create energy, right?
Training,
So you make a power wall, and you hook up the treadmills, the rowing machines, all the ergs,
and it all
up into that, and then you'll power your whole gym.
That's cool.
By kinetic energy.
Well, look, even so you have I know it's stupid,
That'd
but
be dope.
you have the elliptical machines and the manual treadmills that powers the computer on those machines. They're not plugged in.
The true form doesn't have a computer. You power it.
You power it. As soon as you start running, the computer turns on.
Exactly. So I think there's something very important about kinetic energy.
Yeah, it's there.
Think about all the kinetic energy we don't use. Every time the car is moving, it's generating kinetic energy that could refuel it.
Sure.
I guess that's kind of what an alternator does
It is. That is an alternator.
Electrically, but it's not really using the kinetic energy as effectively. And if the rowing machine would be great. If you just charge the whole gym, it would be like, powered by you.
Gym,
It would be a green gym, too.
Could be.
Then you could sell it that way. It's like, our gym is green. You power the gym.
That is not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. All right, Cease, I told you I'm thinking of another. I'm thinking of doing something. I got to ask the gods what they want me to do first. Because I'm very pious. Pious. Actually, not like we were talking about some Muslims are. So here's the thing. If you're Muslim, I read the Quran. And the Quran is not like women have to be covered head to toe. It really talks about being modest. And that modesty also applies to guys. So I don't know if you saw Afghanistan now put their rules together. Men can't wear anything above the knee.
Okay.
Men can't wear above the elbow. Right, they're restricted as well. So when people say Islam is a restrictive religion to women, I disagree. It's a restrictive religion to everyone involved in it. It's not overly restrictive to women. It is to us because we're not.
Right.
But as far as restrictive, it's restrictive to everyone. The guy can't get dressed flamboyant too because that takes away from God. So me, the way I dress for a show,
no way.
They would be like, Matt, if I was Sheikh Manimal, they'd be like, Sheikh Manimal, that might be too flamboyant. Right? You might want to take it down a notch. So it's restrictive to everyone. You can't eat pork, right? You can't have sex before marriage, right? This is restrictive to everyone. And also, what they don't tell you is the whole religion is based on the family. And I know this might be weird to some people, but the religion's based on you having multiple wives. You could have multiple kids. You could have a strong family.
Sure.
And you can't just divorce your wife and be like, bye. You got to take care of her and her kids.
Right.
And if I want to bring another woman in, right, up to the 4 and take one out, she still has to be provided for. So let's say I have 4 wives and I want a 5th and I want to take one's old. I want to have more kids. They're like, well, then you have to pay for her forever. So it's very, but you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rules around it. And you have to have sex with your wife at least twice a year. Otherwise, she can get divorced from you. You're not fulfilling your husbandly duty. What am I doing here? Are we trying to have a family or not? Because then I'll leave. And then the Muslim society says, yes,
that's okay.
That woman can leave because you're not doing what you're supposed to. So when you really understand their religion, and I think that's why it's important to have conversations. When you really understand someone's religion, you're like, oh, they're not a bunch of terrorists.
Well,
you know?
that's a big problem with, I think, with every religion. There's fanatics in every religion. I don't care what you are. You know, I'm Jewish. There's Jewish fanatics. They're absolutely out of their
I live in
mind,
Brooklyn.
You know, yeah, okay, I know exactly. So
Whatever happened with the fucking tunnels?
Good question. What happened with the tunnels?
The Jewish tunnels, what happened? They found the tunnels under the synagogue.
Yeah, they were going back and forth, whatever.
I think what happened was it was a Jewish community issue.
Yeah.
It was probably the rabbis checking out the girls that, they track the periods.
They tracked their periods, and that's why they found the bloody mattresses down
Yes.
there. And
they probably keep them separated. They were doing weird shit.
So like,
hopefully nothing illegal.
Well,
hopefully not like raping kids.
I don't think that was the case. I think
they're
they're
really
just,
weird about breeding.
They're weird. Okay, so that's a whole nother thing.
Right?
Yes,
You're not super religious, but I noticed that the Hasidics are very.
So they inbreed. Like, really, they do inbreed.
Yeah.
Because they'll marry, not they're going to marry their sister, but they'll marry within the community.
Cousin.
And the community, yes, the community is only so big.
The 7,000
that's
people, let's
why-
say, or 10,000
Right, okay,
people.
so 10,000 people that started from 500, so eventually those genetics are just mutated. And then they hide the mutated kids, like, all the time, You'll
Just-
see it.
you just keep 'em away.
They have, like, 8 kids, and then 2 of them are, like, autistic, or they have, mental issues.
Developmental
Yeah,
disabilities.
developmental disabilities, and they'll hide them in the house.
You just stay
They won't
home.
Take them out.
That
Yeah,
kid
they don't
just
take 'em
stays
out.
home.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all right, little
whatever.
little
it
Hyam,
is,
he
and then-
stays home.
yeah,
He don't
stays home,
fucking go
and then-
out.
Yep.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, that's
We make
crazy.
sure we take care of him.
Yeah. So like that whole like rebellious teenage thing that kids go through is like the most natural thing that any person can go through, because the point of that is to leave that small tribe, to get away, to spread your genes to another tribe, right? So when your teenage son gets rebellious and he's like, I hate you, mom, and I hate you, dad. Well, yeah, you should. That's a healthy thing to do. You got to run away, find some girl from another tribe and mate
To
with
mix your
her.
DNA.
Right, mix your
so
DNA.
that you don't.
Keep
You want to feel.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
heard anyone explain that to me like that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
feel that way because it's instinctual that you need to
You have
leave.
to.
Otherwise, you're gonna fuck your cousin.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because
So
you're going to fuck
instead
something at that point,
yeah,
right? You're
so
15
instead
years old.
you're upset.
Instead, you're like,
I
fuck
want to
you,
leave.
Dad, I'm
I go
leaving.
meet some girl in another
Yeah,
village.
exactly.
We have kids now. We
Now
spread
we spread
the
our
DNA.
genes and we're out.
That
And then,
makes so much sense.
son comes back like, Dad, you were always right.
You were right.
And
Yeah.
that's a circle of life. That's
Oh
what it
man, that
goes.
makes so much sense. I honestly never thought about that way.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
being a rebellious teen
You have to be.
is a
It's healthy.
physiological,
It's
evolutionary
nature's-
response.
It's
Did you
nature's
ever think
way
of
of
that?
spreading genes.
I never heard anyone tell me that.
Yeah.
I
so,
really.
when these people
I'm
get
adopting
upset,
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like
I'm
people get,
adopting that.
my son's such an asshole. He's so rebellious. Good. He wants to get out there. He wants to get into the real world and spread his genes.
And test where he is.
Yes, test where his manhood is.
Yeah.
That's a healthy thing. It's not a bad thing. But of course, now in society, he's crazy. Put him on medication. Jeez.
It's and here's the thing. It's like if you think of the ancient world, the kid who was active became an explorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, you're active? Go fucking out."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
find
go,
something.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you want to stay home? All right, you're a blacksmith.
Yeah.
You're a blacksmith. You want to stay home? You're a blacksmith.
Yeah.
You have a lot of energy. You're a soldier.
Right.
You have a lot of energy, right?
But-
So you work the farm for 10 hours.
Great. That's
Your
fantastic.
energy is
Yeah,
way
but
diminished.
now they make that same kid with a lot of energy sit at a desk for 8 hours.
First
Yeah.
things first,
Right,
I
you
would
gotta
train
sit
him
at
for
the-
2 hours.
Well,
At
that's
least
what
an
you do.
hour training
In
in the
China,
morning.
that's what they do.
Train him
The
first.
first thing
we work
classic,
out.
Work out first thing in
First
the
thing.
morning. And then we go and we learn, and then we work out some more.
Yeah.
And you could go and watch videos. They're like up and dancing in the middle of class,
Yeah.
and doing things. They're getting that
They
energy
cook
out,
their
being
food.
physical.
I seen one where they make their own lunch.
Yeah, they do
All
everything.
the kids
They
just
do
cook their
everything.
own food.
And then, nobody in China has ADHD, huh? No.
Yeah, that's weird too. I go to school and then I'm served food that's shitty. And my mom works in the cafeteria and I see some of the stuff and they made it worse too. The quality of that food my mom's been a lunch lady for 25 years, right? And she brings stuff home.
Yeah.
And the quality of what they have
can't
is
imagine.
diminished considerably since I was a kid. And it was still shit then.
That's
Even though I loved those little pizzas.
Oh, I love the little pizzas.
pizzas.
That was the best day
Put
at
the
school.
money in the meter.
Oh, what time is it?
I don't know, up to 11.
Oh, we should wrap it up.
Wow, let's
Just
go.
so we
Yeah.
don't, I don't want to get
I
a
know,
ticket.
yeah, I don't want to
Other
get a
than that, I
ticket
don't
either.
care.
The meter maids, what grinds my gears? Fucking all the punitive penalties that
Yep.
make no sense. How can you meter the street? Stop it. Red light cameras, speeding cameras, meters. Stop it, guys. It's too
overreach.
much. Too much.
overreach.
All right, guys, where can they find you? Carry the Stellar One
Instagram and Twitter.
at Carry the Stellar One. Siege Athletics.
At Siege Athletics NY.
Guys, awesome work. We did like almost an hour. I was like, we started.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but I gotta go.
leaving the mountains.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm ready to cut you up like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, I don't want us to get tickets.